Hi everyone. I know that it might be kind of loud here. There's some planes flying over me, but hopefully you can hear me. I really wanted to do this live outside today because I'm in Miami and it is so beautiful out here, and it's just not a day to be inside. So hopefully you don't mind the noise. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this kind of marketing tip, I guess, for lack of a better word today, how I went viral on TikTok. So I want to share with you guys my experience going viral, and I want to share with you how I went viral, which I learned after the fact. I didn't plan on going viral, and kind of what I think about it from a marketing perspective as someone who talks about sales a lot and knows the importance of it in your business, and just kind of share what it was like. I've learned a lot about it, and I think that there's so many good nuggets to take away from it. So let's go ahead and dive in. So everyone probably knows what TikTok is. I want to share that my experience with TikTok was pretty minimal before I went viral this week. So it was like only a week ago. I had downloaded TikTok at the beginning of the pandemic, like I'm sure everyone else did. And hi everyone who's joining. Sorry, it's kind of loud. I'm obviously outside because it's so pretty out, but there's some planes above me. So I hadn't really used TikTok very much other than the, typical like whatever you watch when we were first starting with the quarantine. And I didn't really touch it for 2 years. I wasn't really a fan. I guess I wasn't not a fan, but I really encouraged my clients to stay away from it if they were feeling pressured to do it, because I just think that there's always going to be a social media platform to chase. And TikTok, the one thing I don't love about it is, as fun as it is to consume, to create, it feels very time consuming. Videos take a lot of time and effort to create. And it just feels like unless that's all you do, it's taking away from other parts of your business, unless you're just a TikTok influencer. So that was kind of my skepticism of it. But I decided a week or two ago to push myself to post on it every single day for a week and just see if I liked it, if I liked creating that way, if I liked the, liked connecting with people on it. I wanted to just kind of see what it was about and push myself to try something new and try something out of my comfort zone. So I just started creating a few videos about my life in New York. It was really low stakes. I wasn't trying to do anything crazy different. And I decided to upload the video of my husband and I telling our friends the sex of our baby. Our baby has already been born, as many of you know, but this video was from over the summer last year when I was pregnant, and we had just moved back to New York, and we got all our friends together. Actually, there was like 10 of us at this bar where you could see the skyline of Manhattan, and we were able to change one of the needles in the skyline. We could change the color of it. We've had access to this app that allows you to do it through one of our friends who works in construction. And we donated. It was like a donation-based thing. So we donated and we lit up the sky blue because our baby is a boy. So the video was very simple. It was a 10-second countdown where we counted down, and then my husband changed the color. It went blue, and we got to share with our friends that we were having a boy, which we had known for a few months at that point. I did not think much of this. I just posted it. I thought it was a fun video. I thought it was such a fun sex reveal, gender reveal, whatever you want to call it these days, type of way to share with our friends. I thought it was original. So I just posted it and called it a day. And by the way, for anyone watching this, I specifically say the sex of our baby because I understand that our baby will reveal the gender of the baby to us when he or she or they is of age and in the identity to do so. So I'm respectful of that. And I just want to be clear about that because that's one of the things I've gotten a lot of TikTok hate about. So, and even on the TikTok I said, revealing the sex of our baby. So long story short, I wake up the next morning after posting it and I had gotten, I think, around 80,000 views overnight, which I really didn't expect. I had, the most I had ever gotten on a TikTok video was a few hundred. And then to have almost 100,000 was pretty crazy. And the comments were vicious. Right away, the comments were mean. I think that the genre of comments that were the meanest were, first of all, people saying, this wasn't so much mean as it's just ridiculous. So many people are commenting on it saying that we're showing off how much money we have, that this is a rich people thing, that we must be in different tax brackets as them, which is just almost comical because this was something that we did via a donation. It wasn't something that cost money. It wasn't something that cost a lot of money. It was something that really anyone can do if they have access to this app that someone invites them to. We had a friend who works in the construction industry, and she was able to do that for us. So it wasn't really, actually, I mean, that just kind of makes the commenters look a little silly because it wasn't something that we paid for. But whatever, that's not really I don't really need to explain that. And then the second genre of mean comments were about how unexcited we looked, and how unsurprised we looked, and how disappointed we looked. And I believe that it's just because we knew, and maybe I didn't make that clear when I posted the video, we knew the sex of the baby, so we were just telling our friends. So we didn't have this huge reaction of excitement or surprise or shock because we knew. We were just telling people. So our reactions were just smiley and excited to share this news with our friends who cheered in the background. So these comments bothered me definitely more. I don't really care if people think that it costs us money, whatever, but the ones where they kind of talk about how we don't look excited and it doesn't look like we care about the baby and all of that obviously are not fun to read because I know it's not true. I'm so obsessed with motherhood and our baby. And I guess what bothers me, I know that I don't really care if people know that or not, or if they're justified in thinking that, but I don't really like when he's kind of brought up. Obviously, he's an innocent child, and I don't really want him involved in like my social media-ness, which is kind of a different conversation. But that's the point, is that those are the two veins. One is just like tearing us apart because we have money and there's horrible things happening in the world and how could we spend money on this? We didn't, so whatever. And the other is how disappointed we look and how much we must not care, or how much we were just apathetic, which obviously also is logically not true because we had just known already. We didn't have this big surprise expression because we weren't surprised. So since then, the video has gotten over a million views in a week. And it's taught me a lot. I think the biggest things it's taught me are how to handle so much negativity and just meanness and just opinions from people, unsolicited opinions from people. And then also, I've learned retroactively why it went viral. So I want to share that with you in case you want to go viral. And then I also want to share my thoughts on going viral. So let's start actually with that first. What do I think about going viral from a business perspective? Has it been a great brand builder for me? Is it something that I think you should try to do? So I definitely have gotten more engagement, more interaction, more content, more followers on my TikTok profile from this than I had. I think when this started, I had not under 50, and now I think I have like 250. So I got 200 followers with basically doing nothing. I just posted this video and called it a day. I had no strategy. I hadn't really been that consistent, didn't really have any hashtags. It just is what it is. I guess that's cool. I don't really know how cool that is because I haven't been able yet to see the quality of followers. And I've always believed, and I've always talked about this on Instagram, that your followers only mean as much as they connect to your business and connect to you and eventually could become customers or clients. So followers for the sake of followers is just a number. It's a vanity number at that. It's something that really, if it's something you're working for, it's probably really only to make you feel good. That doesn't mean that it's actually going to help your bottom line, which if you're watching this or if you're listening to this and you're an entrepreneur, is probably to sell a product or service that you have. And that really will only be sold by the right followers, not just followers for the sake of followers. Even if you're an influencer and you get paid based on how many followers you have or based on your platforms, I'm still not convinced that just the number is really going to do it for you for your whole kind of career. It might do things here and there, but if a brand is wanting to work with you, and yes, they might like how many followers you have, but if they see that these people aren't really connected to you, that they don't really listen to you, that they aren't really engaging with whatever it is that you share, they're not going to be that confident that you're actually going to influence them to buy whatever you're working with them to represent. So it doesn't really help you all that much. If you have 100,000 followers but get a comment or no comments on things, how is a brand really going to be able to look at that and know that you are going to be able to help them sell something? It's just really not that much proof. So that has happened. I guess that is a good thing, but it's not something that I feel like is a huge business booster for me at this point. I'll report back if I change my mind otherwise, but so far it hasn't proven it to me, and I don't have a feeling it's going to be. Especially because, anyway, that is kind of how I feel about that. Going viral is cool because I guess you get more views and attention and followers than you would if you didn't. But is it really a good business strategy? I don't know yet, and I don't think so because of the quality of followers and the lack of connection to you and your business. It's not really there from just going viral with one video. That type of trust takes time. It takes a relationship. It takes give and take, not really just like one video slapped up there that goes viral, or even a few that go viral, and then just sort of hoping people like you all of a sudden and want to buy from you. So through this all, I still highly recommend that you have a sophisticated and personal method of selling, and that you have sales that work for you. This is something I teach at length in my sales program, Signature Sales. So if you're wanting to go viral because you want more money and you want more followers or you want a bigger platform or whatever, I would recommend instead that you look at Signature Sales so that you have a long-standing, consistent plan for sales and for client enrollment and for customers and all of that, because that's going to get you a lot further. Ruby, no, stop. Just a second, everyone. Let me get the dog. Hey, don't do that. She got very mad that I pulled her away from chewing what she was chewing. So now let's talk a little bit about the negative parts of going viral. The people that are mean, how to handle the haters, what to do with all of that. So out of all the comments I've gotten, I would say probably 80% are negative or mean or critical. There's definitely been some people, especially later on, that kind of came in and they were like, why are these comments so mean? This is a cute video, congratulations. Or like, I'm happy for you and your baby, or whatever. So, I've never ever had that much visibility and just hate online. Hasn't really bothered me because it's so ridiculous, and because I feel like a lot of people on TikTok are just like, I've looked at some of the people that have commented and gotten really just nasty with their comments, and they don't have profiles. They've never created TikToks. A lot of them don't even have their name on them. A lot of them don't have their pictures. So they're clearly just, wanting to be anonymous, which means that you're probably not saying anything nice because no one's catching you saying anything mean. You're not being held accountable for your words. It's so easy to say something mean when no one knows who you are and when you know that you will have no negative consequences for doing so. So I've known that all along, and it hasn't bothered me. And it's reiterated the lesson that I've learned time and time again, and that I really had to teach myself in the beginning of my business growth, which is that anyone who is doing more than you, or who is more successful than you, excuse me, or who in this case has more TikTok followers than me, or more TikTok videos than I do, they're not the ones criticizing you. Excuse me. No one that you look up to, that you aspire to be, that you admire, is going to take time to talk down to you because they're too busy doing things. They're too busy being successful or creating videos or making content or whatever. And so that has always really helped me manage people's judgments of me, or people's complaints, or people's just rude, unsolicited advice. And so remember that if you're either afraid of getting nasty comments or you're getting them, 10 out of 10 times those people are not anyone that you admire or want to look up to. So you shouldn't be taking their advice. You shouldn't be taking what they're telling you to do seriously. Like, you don't want to be like them, so why would you listen to them? With that said, we can segue into what I've since learned about the tips on going viral. What did make this go viral, and how could you excuse me, guys, how could you replicate this in your own TikTok profile if that's what you wanted to do? There's a few things that I've learned. So the first thing is that your engagement definitely matters. The more comments and likes and replies and all of that you get under the video, the more TikTok's algorithm is going to think that this is a video people like watching, they have an opinion on, it's something that they are spending time on the app on. Just think of it from TikTok's perspective. They want you to spend as long on the app as possible, because the longer you spend on the app, the more likely you are to see and click on ads, which is what TikTok makes money from. So the more money they'll make. So they will do whatever they can within their algorithm, Facebook's the same way, and Instagram, to make you stay on that app, which is why they like videos. So if you are creating something that allows people to stay on that app via comments, via engagement, via replies, via likes, whatever, then TikTok is going to reward you and reward that video by getting it even more exposure, so more people do that and more people stay on the app. So that is why I indulged in so many of these nasty comments. It wasn't really because I needed to stand up for myself to people that are anonymous and are saying hateful things about me and my family that don't have any idea who we are. I don't really feel the need to defend that. And you might be thinking, Leah, if you're telling me that, anyone who's commenting something mean doesn't have anything better to do, so why should I listen to them? Why are you equally doing it? Well, I'm doing it for the engagement. I'm doing it so that the video continues to get visibility. I wanted it to get as big as it could at that point. I just thought, why not see how this grows, see what it does, basically have this experiment on what going viral on TikTok does for me and my business, or doesn't do. So that's why I commented a lot on it. And if you're trying to grow your visibility, think about, one, what type of content will spark engagement, will spark comments, will spark conversation, will make people ask questions so that you can reply to all of that. And then two, how can you be really engaged with the content that people are creating and with the content that people are engaging, what they're asking and everything they're doing below your video. How can you make sure that you're connecting with them that way to keep the engagement up? And then with that, the second thing that I think made this video work really well to go viral is that TikTok pays a lot of attention to how long people watch an average video. So I think videos are like 15 or 30 seconds. And so if someone watches like 2 to 3 seconds of it and they're bored and they flip up to the next video, that video is probably not going to do as well because people aren't really interested in watching it, and TikTok wants you to watch the whole thing. Remember, they want to keep you on the app. My video was a gender reveal, a sex of a baby reveal, pardon me. So we were counting down 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way to 1 in order to reveal it. It was a perfect video for someone to stay on for the whole time. They wanted to see what the reveal was. They wanted to see the reaction. And then when the comments started saying that your reactions were so anticlimactic, why don't you care? People were probably even more curious to see how lame our reactions were. So I, of course, didn't think about this when I posted it, but it is a perfect video for encouraging someone to watch all of. It is a perfect video to get someone to watch from beginning to end, just because of the nature of it, because it is something that counts down, has an ending people want to see, and then engagement was built up about the ending specifically, so people wanted to see that even more. So if you are making a video for the sake of visibility and you want as much exposure as possible, think about how you can make the content such that people watch the whole thing. And I think from the very minimal TikTok research I've done, this can mean your video can be short. Don't feel the need excuse me, for it to be all 15 seconds. I had a carrot before this and I think part of it's still in my throat, so that's why I keep coughing. I'm sorry. It doesn't need to be all 15 seconds. It just needs to be as long as it is for it to be exciting, people to like it, engage, and watch the whole thing. So those are, I think, the reasons that it went viral. Other than that, I don't really know. I think I kind of just got lucky too, if you want to call it luck. And yeah, just remember that just because something goes viral doesn't mean that it's going to go viral to the audience you want it to go. I think these people that are hugely criticizing me because I wasn't excited enough, or that feel the need to comment on how we look rich and they don't like that, they're probably not really who I would want to hang out with in real life, right? They're probably not really, and most of my clients are. Our clients in our programs, we become friends with, we have relationships with them. And so that kind of thing is what we try to strive for. So just because something goes viral and you get all this visibility doesn't mean it's the visibility that you necessarily want. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just important to keep your expectations real. If you want visibility for the sake of business growth, have a strategy other than going viral. That's not the way. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out my clapback comments, you can go check out my TikTok, and I'll talk to you guys later.